Welcome friends, this is the last part of this chapter. In this part, we'll continue the question that we are doing in the last part and wind up this chapter. This is the chapter consignment, which is the part of paper 1, principles and practice of accounting. I am CA Parag Sudhani. So now let us start with the accounting portion. That means we'll draw the ledger account, and as per the question we had to draw the ledger account in the books of consignor, and the consignor is, we'll call him V, right? So the consignor's name is Vikram Milks Foods Limited, Vikram Milk Foods Company Limited, and I am drawing the consignment account in the books of Vikram. I'm writing in short as V. So in the books of V, we are drawing right now the consignment account. Now, as we know, the consignment account, in the debit side of consignment account, what all entries will come? First of all, the entry of goods sent on consignment. So what is the value of goods sent on consignment? Let us see. 2000 tins and 6000 packets were sent, and their respective rates, their respective cost was 10 and 6. So tins 2000 multiplied by 10, which gives us 20,000. Secondly, packets are 6,000. Packets 6,000 with a rate of ₹6 per unit, which gives us 36,000. Okay, what other entries are made? So the next entry in the consignment account is the expenses. Whose expenses? Consignor's expenses or consignee's expenses? Tell me. Expenses of both. But in our example, who has incurred the expense? We know that the freight expense has been incurred by consignee. And how much is that? How much is that? That is 2% of selling value, right? Okay, so let us charge it to consignee's account, and consignee's name should be written, in fact, which is S. So it would have been better if I would have written 2S. I am writing in short, and for the expenses we would say that 2% of selling price. Now what is the selling price? Selling price for 2000 tins is ₹15, and for 6000 packets is let me check, 7. So we'll multiply it. Let me calculate. 2000 multiplied by 15, next 6000 multiplied by 7, which gives us ₹72,000, and 2% of 72,000 is 1440. So this is about freight. I'm writing in short, it is about freight, but we know that consignee has borne other expenses also. Let us check what are they. So we are provided that consignee's commission was fixed at 5% of sale proceeds. In fact, I would not say that consignee has borne this expense, but this expense is on consignee. So for that, once again, we'll have to pass the entry of to consignee. That means 2S, and this time it is for commission. Commission paid to S. How much is that commission? Let us check. So it is written that commission amounts to 5% of sale proceeds. How much is the sale proceeds? So for that, first of all, let me pass the entry for sales. For sales, the entry will be by S. That means the consignee's account will be debited, and the sales made by him is, he has sold 1500 tins and 4000 packets. So 1500 tins were sold at the rate of rupees 515 each, and packets, 4000 packets were sold at the rate rupees 7 each. So if we total them up, we get 15,000 multiplied by 15 and 4,000 multiplied by 7. So in all we get 2,53,000. I'm sorry, this is not 2,53,000. Actually, it will be 22,500 plus 28,000. So in total, it will be 50,500. Right. And what was the commission? Commission was 5% of this value. That means 50,500. So let us calculate. It is rupees 2525. Right? Okay. What else? What else is remaining? So one more thing that is remaining is the entry for stock. So by consignment stock. So what is the value of consignment stock? We have already made a good amount of calculation for that. It is 16915. So let us enter this amount, 16915. Is there anything else remaining? Can you recognize one very important thing is missing so far, and that is the entry for abnormal loss. Now friends, for abnormal loss, we have already made the calculation, and what is the total amount of abnormal loss? It is rupees 515, right? But the question says one thing in this respect, that the transport carrier admitted a claim of rupees 450. That means the transport carrier admitted that he was responsible for the loss to the amount, up to the amount of rupees 450. That means we can say that out of this abnormal loss 515, 450 will be received back by us. It is not to be borne by us, and remaining rupees 65, that is the actual loss that we have to bear. And therefore the entry will be made like, for rupees 450 we'll make the transporter responsible, and so the entry will be by claim from transporter. From transporter we'll claim rupees 450, and as far as rupees 65, the balancing amount is concerned, we'll debit which account? We'll debit our abnormal loss account, and we know that that abnormal loss account will ultimately be written off from profit and loss account. So let us write here directly the P&L account, and in bracket I am writing for abnormal loss. Right. So this is what we have to make. And if now I wind up consignment account and calculate whether we have received profit or loss, then 50,500 plus 16915 plus 450 plus 65 minus 20,000 minus 36,000 minus 1440 and minus 2525, which takes us to the final profit amount of 7965, and this profit will be taken to the P&L account finally, right? So this is the end of consignment account. As far as consignees account is concerned, that means S account, then the consignees account, as we already know that it is a short picture of, this is just the representation of which account, which document? It is the short representation of account sales. So let us draw the consignees account. So first of all, we have to debit S account by the amount of sale proceeds. So how much is the sale proceeds? The sale proceeds is rupees 50,500, right? Okay. What all have to be credited to it? So the first thing that has to be credited are the consignment expenses that are borne by S. How much consignment expense has been borne by S? He has borne the freight, which amounts to rupees 1440. Next, we have to credit the S account by the commission that is to be received by S. How much is the commission? 2525. What else? Is there anything remaining? No, nothing is remaining. The balance amount, that means 50,500 minus these two amounts, the balance amount that will be remaining, that will be remitted by S to V. That means consignee will remit this amount to consigner. So what entry will be passed for it? By bank account, because the entry will be bank account debit to consignee's account. So by bank, and the remaining balancing amount will be 50,500 minus 1440 minus 2525. That is 46535. And this way the consignee's account will be closed. So this is what we have to make entry in the books of consigner, that means V. And that is the end of this question. So with all these things, I'll wind up this chapter. Thank you, friends.